Da 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 da! Happy New Year 2015! Yay! Now it's time for my yearly wrap-up of 2014. Yes, I know, it is... I have not been on YouTube for this whole year, but the little I have been on it has become a very big part of my life, and I still want to make this video, so turn it off if you don't like it. Just leave it at this top 5 favorite books of 2014 countdown video. But before I get to that, I would like to start with a few statistics from my reading this year for all you number people out there. First off, I read a complete total of 62 books out of 60 so far, and a total number of 20,344 pages, not counting the book I just finished, so it's probably a little bit more than that. I had 7 books I rated 2 stars, 24 books I rated 3 stars, 28 books I rated 4 stars, and 2 books I rated 5 stars. So very hard to get me to give you a perfect rating on Goodreads, for sure. You know you earned it when you got that. One last statistic for you. The longest book I read this year was Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor, and that was 613 pages. So there you go. Some statistics of my reading life by Brianna. You're welcome. Now on to my top 5 books 2014. Oh yes, it's that time. Starting with number 5 was Splintered by A.G. Howard. I pretty much love any retellings of classic stories, so one of these was definitely gonna sneak in there. Actually, three of my top 5 books for the year are retellings of some sort, so that kind of shows what books I enjoy the most. Oddly enough, just now realized that, but yes, Splintered by A.G. Howard was my number 5, and I really loved this. I really loved it. This was a retelling of the classic Alice in Wonderland story, and very unique creative twist on it. I really enjoyed it. I don't really want to say anything else. I don't want to give anything away. It's kind of sort of like half mystery. You're trying to like figure out the past while you're reading about the present, and it's just really interesting, beautiful story, lots of imagery, plus the colors are freaking gorgeous. If you can't see by my picture I'm gonna put up here probably in later. So yes, I highly suggest checking out that trilogy if you haven't done so yet. In one of my last book hauls, I hauled the ARC copy of the 3rd final book of the trilogy called Ensnared by A.G. Howard. It had the Knave of Hearts on the cover, and so that kind of gives you a feel of what the covers look like too. So yeah, that was my number 5. Number 4. Number 4 was Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. This was just a very unique, interesting, beautiful covered version of a retelling version of Beauty and the Beast, which I always love. Beauty and the Beast is my all-time favorite fairy tale story, and it easily earned the number 4 ranking, although I went back and forth between which one to rank as number 4 and which one to rank number 3. These are pretty close together in my priority lists, so you'll see why in a minute. So Cruel Beauty, very good book, awesome, loved it, it was great. And there's a companion novel coming out shortly called Crimson Bound, which retells the story of Little Red Riding Hood. That's also by Rosamund Hodge. I'm sorry, I'm waving my pen like a baton for some reason. I have no idea why. Number 3 in the 2014 Brianna's Books Countdown is Creature of Moonlight by Rebecca Hahn. If you saw my review of this book, you would understand how much I enjoyed it. I kind of had a rampage and freaked out when I finished reading this in my review video. So that happened. I really liked it. It was a beautiful story. It had dragons, had mystery, had intrigue, all the good stuff in there. Had an enchanted forest. I mean, what more could a girl ask for? I mean, really. So, Creature of Moonlight definitely earned its spot in number 3. However, there were 2 more that just were cut above the rest and snuck past it somehow, as much as I loved it. That brings us to ranking number 2. The runner-up for my favorite book of 2014 was Cress by Marissa Meyer, and I swear this Lunar Chronicles series just keeps getting better and better. Cress just keeps doing what Marissa Meyer does best in wrapping everything together in a nice little bow, at the same time giving us different questions to ask about, say, winter and the next book and why in the heck is it so far apart from being released, but mostly just a good old, not good old, just a fantastic fairy tale retelling. It keeps adding more characters every book. This being the 3rd book, there's so many different characters, so many different plot lines happening. So interesting, fascinating, all the fairy tales that get thrown into it. I just loved it so much. There is not that many books out there, I don't think, of like a Rapunzel retelling that is done well. Like, I think this is the only Rapunzel retelling that I really, really enjoyed. Basically, it was just a fantastic book, and it deserves my number 2 spot. However, there was a book that I just soaked this one up to no end, and I didn't read it too long ago. It was one of the later months of the year, so it's still all pretty fresh in my mind, and I just loved it so much. And some people, because they can't relate to it as much, didn't love it as much as I did, I feel like, but I loved it so much, and I actually have it with me because it's one of the few I actually own that I read this year. It is, of course, Landline by Rainbow Rowell. This is an art copy I found at a library book sale for super cheap, and I was super happy when I got it, and then I got to read it, and I love it. It is so funny and quirky, hilariously put together. It goes between past and present, and being a married gal of over 2.5 years myself, I could definitely appreciate the situations and like the context and relate to these characters a lot. And it was just so funny and witty, and I love Rainbow Rowell's writing. It's just hilariously brilliant and smart, and I forget, well, this one is an adult fiction novel, but any of her novels, I forget that I'm reading a YA novel because it's just so, she just writes so well. So, enough of my gushing. This is my number 1 book of 2014. I'm happy with this choice. Nothing else in my mind came close, probably because this one is fresher in my mind, but it just took me completely by surprise in the best possible way. I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did, and it swept me off my feet. So, there you go. Rainbow Rowell's Landline for the number 1 book of 2014. Stay tuned for 2015 stuff, videos, related info, etc. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye!